So have you ever been told you're too sensitive? Just because you cry easily? It's a super common label, and let's be real, it's usually not meant as a compliment. But what if that entire assumption is just wrong? What if tearing up during a movie or feeling that swell of emotion in a conversation isn't a weakness, but a sign of a rare and powerful cognitive strength? Well, in this explainer, we're going to unpack the science behind why some people are more prone to tears and discover the incredible power it really reveals.
Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it. On one side, you've got what society often says: weak, unstable, overly emotional. You've probably heard them all. But then look at what psychology is actually showing us. It's a totally different picture. Weak becomes responsive. Unstable becomes empathetic, and being overly emotional is actually a sign of high emotional intelligence. You see, this isn't just swapping out words. It's a massive shift in how we understand what's going on inside our own heads.
So let's start tearing down this myth of being too sensitive, shall we? Because this is about so much more than just the tears themselves. It's really about the fundamental wiring of how some of us are built to experience the world. The crying? That's just the visible tip of a really fascinating and complex iceberg.
This quote right here, it reframes everything. Crying isn't some kind of character flaw. It's a biological function, and a pretty brilliant one at that. Think about it like a pressure cooker. Some people's systems just naturally build up that emotional steam faster and more intensely. Crying is just the healthy, built-in valve that lets it all out before things overload. It's a sign that your system is working exactly the way it's supposed to.
And that brings us to the hardware itself, your nervous system. For anyone who feels things really deeply, it's not faulty or broken. A much better way to think about it is like a finely tuned instrument, one that's capable of picking up on all these subtle emotional frequencies that a lot of other people might miss completely. The official scientific term for this is high emotional reactivity. And I want you to notice the key parts of this definition. First, it's a biological trait, meaning it's just part of your makeup. It's not a choice. Your nervous system is just wired to react more intensely and more quickly to emotional input. And this part is absolutely crucial. That includes both positive and negative feelings. It's the reason you might feel this overwhelming sense of joy just as easily as you feel profound sadness.
So, here's the most important takeaway. For, decades, society has pretty much treated this trait like a software bug that needs to be patched or fixed. But the science? It tells us the complete opposite. It's not a bug. It's a feature. You can even call it an upgrade that allows for a much richer, more detailed processing of the entire emotional world around you.
So how exactly does this finely tuned system create such a powerful sense of empathy? Well, the answer is deep inside the brain, with a really specific set of cells that are responsible for this incredible human connection.
Everybody, meet your mirror neurons. These things are amazing. They are the reason you might physically wince when you see someone else get a paper cut, or why you can't help but smile when you see someone's genuine belly laugh. Your brain literally fires as if you were the one doing that action, and it creates this sort of neurological bridge between your experience and theirs. And it turns out, people with that high emotional reactivity we were talking about, they often have way more active mirror neuron systems.
And this breaks the whole process down perfectly. It all happens in a split second. You see someone's shoulders slump down in sadness. Boom! Immediately your mirror neurons fire as if your shoulders were slumping. And just like that, you feel a little shadow of that sadness yourself. You're not just guessing what they feel. On a brain level, you are literally feeling it with them. It's incredible.
Okay, so we've got a responsive nervous system and a super powerful mirror neuron network. What does all that add up to? Well, this is the payoff. This is where we see how all these biological traits translate into a real, genuine cognitive superpower. And here they are, the strengths, plain and simple. That hyper-responsive mirror neuron system we just talked about, that's the engine that fuels your stronger empathy. And that empathy, well, that's the foundation for higher emotional intelligence, that ability to understand your own emotions and instantly recognize them in other people. And the natural result of all that? Deeper, more meaningful social connections. You're not just having conversations, you're building real rapport because you actually get where the other person is coming from.
So, after looking at all of this science, it's pretty clear we need a whole new perspective. It's time to stop trying to toughen up and instead start embracing this trait for the incredible asset it really is.
Let's just end with this one core message. Your sensitivity, your tendency to cry easily, to feel things deeply, it is not a flaw that you need to overcome. It is the very source of your empathy, your emotional intelligence, and your amazing ability to connect with others. It is your greatest strength. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know that your emotional responses are rooted in this highly perceptive and empathetic system in your brain, how does that change the way you see yourself? How are you going to reframe your sensitivity, not as a burden, but as the powerful tool it truly is?